Wildcat Chemist, this is Miss Sixta coming at you from the COVID era webcam. So I'm not here today, and we ran out of time for doing homework 2.1. So I'm going to show you how to figure out protons, neutrons, and electrons using the symbols given or information off the periodic table. So recap of what we learned last class. All atoms contain protons, electrons, and neutrons. Protons are positive, P plus. Electrons are negative, E minus. And neutrons are neutral, N zero. The mass of the atom is what's contained in the nucleus. And the two things that are in the nucleus are the protons and the neutrons. So if we want to figure out the mass of an atom, we take the protons and add the neutrons. And we talked about how on the periodic table, some of those numbers are decimals, and that's because those are average atomic masses. So the numbers that I'm giving you here all have to be whole numbers because we can't have a fraction of a proton or a neutron. So make sure you're using the numbers that are given on this sheet for both either the mass number or the neutrons. So it's not going to always match the periodic table. The one thing that does match the periodic table is this right here, your number of protons. That is the atomic number. And remember, that's number, not hashtag, because I'm old. You change this, you change the element. So no matter what, this has to match your periodic table. So if it's the same element, it's got to have that same number of protons. Now, one of the I words that we learned about at the end of last class was isotopes. Isotopes exist when we change the number of neutrons, and that gives us a different mass. The other I word that we learned about briefly at the end of last class was an ion. Ions are where we change the number of electrons, and that results in a charge. Remember that if the charge of the atom is zero, then we just call it an atom. It's an ion if it has a positive or negative charge, and it doesn't matter which way, and it doesn't matter how big. So this is kind of like a puzzle. We're trying to figure out what kind of atom are we dealing with? How many protons, neutrons, and electrons are in it? And we're taking the information in the table and trying to fill in the blanks here. What you also are going to learn about is how we write that nuclear symbol, where we have, in our nuclear symbol, we have the mass on the top, the number of protons on the bottom, and then the charge, if there is one, in the upper corner. So this is kind of annoying because it's opposite from what the periodic table shows me. So let's try to fill in a couple of these and I'll pull in the periodic table as we need to. Here I've got hydrogen, good old hydrogen, atomic number 1. How do you know that? Well, it's the first element in the periodic table. This particular version or isotope of hydrogen has a mass number of 1. Now, if you look back at our periodic table, which I know the resolution on this isn't great, but my periodic table gives you the atomic number up at the top. Remember that whole number, that's your number of protons. That's the identity of the element. And this whole thing is organized in order of atomic number. This number at the bottom, that's your average atomic mass. It's an average because it's a decimal, and we'll learn how to calculate that later. Don't worry about it. What we talked about last class was rounding this to the nearest whole number in order to use it. And while you might not be able to see mine, you should have a copy of yours, and it says 1.008. That basically rounds to 1. So that's one version or one isotope of hydrogen. Now, because that average is a little bit bigger than 1, there's also an isotope of hydrogen with a mass of 2. And we're going to look at both of those on this right here. Both of these first two rows are hydrogen, so the atomic number has to be 1. That has to match your number of protons. So it might be helpful for you to be like, woo, these two have to be the same all the way down. So wherever you know the number of protons, you automatically know the atomic number. Moving on over here, atomic number is 1, protons is 1, and that's by definition. Atomic number is 1 because it's still hydrogen. Number of protons is still 1. Now to get the number of neutrons, remember that your mass is made of protons plus neutrons, so we need to throw down some kindergarten math. If your mass is 1 and there's 1 proton, 1 plus what gets me 1? 0. So there are 0 neutrons in that isotope of hydrogen. Here's how that looks different for the next one. Here are my mass numbers 2. So if protons plus neutrons equals 2, 1 plus what equals 2? 1. Awesome. The charge, this is the ratio of positive protons to negative electrons, right here. If they're the same, then the charge is 0. So if I have 1 positive proton, 1 negative electron, my overall charge is 0. If you want an equation for that, you can do protons minus electrons. Why do we subtract the electrons? Because electrons are negative. Another way to look at this is to see which you have more of, okay? Sometimes this helps students. If you have more electrons, then you have a negative charge. And the number of how many more electrons is the size of the charge. If you have less electrons, then you have a positive charge. Notice that I'm not touching the protons. No touch. Leave those alone. Because if you change that, you change the element. Okay? So in terms of charge, we're just looking to see how many more electrons or how many less electrons. Let's look at the next one. 1 proton, 1 electron. I don't have a different number, so that's going to be a neutral atom of a charge of 0. Now what we need to do is take the information from each row and turn it into a nuclear symbol. The symbol is the symbol of the element. For hydrogen, it's just H. Now the number at the top is going to be your atomic mass. So when we do the symbol, you want your mass number on the top, your atomic number on the bottom, and your charge, if there is one, up at the top. People say, Sixta, do I have to put a 0 if the charge is 0? No, you don't, because if there was a charge, positive or negative, you'd put it. So if you don't see anything, you just assume the charge is 0. So my symbol is hydrogen. The mass of this isotope from this column is a 1. So I'm going to put that up at the top. My number of protons / atomic number is 1. That's going to go at the bottom. My charge is 0, so I don't worry about it. Second verse, same as the first. Still hydrogen. This time, the mass is 2, so I'm going to put a 2 here up at the top. Atomic number and protons better not change, right? Cranky face, because it's still a hydrogen. Let's put a 1 down there. No charge, no number up top. Now, how do we work backwards if we're given the symbol? Well, we already know H is hydrogen because been there, done that. Sorry, the boxes aren't very big. And we already know that the number of protons and atomic number can't change because cranky face, you change that, you're changing the element. So it's got to be 1s here. Now this has a mass of 1. So to get my neutrons, remember that's protons plus neutrons is 1. So 1 plus 0 equals 1. Charge. There's a positive charge here, okay? Now, if my protons minus my electrons gets me the charge, 1 proton minus 0 electrons, that gives me a 1 plus charge. You'll notice that I have less electrons. How many less electrons? I have 1 less than protons. So that means that my charge is positive, and it's a 1 because it's short by 1. Another way you can think about this is how many positives and negatives do you not have canceling each other out? Let's look at another example. Let's do one that's a little bit beefier. We'll do the next row, and then I'll let you guys rock on the rest of these. Titanium. We all know the symbol for titanium, hopefully. If we don't, because we're not awesome at this yet, periodic table right here, Ti. Not to be confused with TL, which is super poisonous. Symbol for titanium is Ti. I need to put my mass up at the top, and it looks like my mass is already given here. So my mass is 47. The atomic number goes down at the bottom. Remember, that has to be the same number of protons by definition. So titanium's element 22. So its atomic number is 22. That's what's going to go down here at the bottom. I already know that there's no charge because this column tells me that, so I don't need to put anything up here. Number of electrons. Well, remember, this is the balance of positive and negative. And if I have the same number of protons and electrons, then I have no charge. So if I've got 22 positives, there have to be 22 negatives to even it out. Neutrons. If a mass is 47 and my protons is 22, 47 minus 22, or I could look at this as 22 plus what is going to get me to 47. And no shame in the calculator game. If you need one, I've got those pink calculators at the front of my table. If I can do mental math, because sometimes I can, 22 plus 25 is going to get me to 47. And then we're done. Now be careful. The reason why I said, remember that the mass number is not the same as the average on the periodic table. No, it's hard to see, but titanium here on the periodic table is 47.87. Now, if we went with math rules, 5 or above, we give that a shove, that's going to be 48. Well, a mass of 48 is going to result in a different number of neutrons. So the periodic table says a mass of 48, that would be 26 neutrons, right? So go with what's listed on here because different isotopes, elements of different masses, do exist. So always use the number of neutrons or the mass number that you're given on here because it may not match the periodic table. Now your job while I'm gone is to finish the rest of these rows. My green binder with the key is up front for you to check it, help each other out. I'll answer any questions that we have next week. And you've got a practice game to play next. The link is on Canvas. Thanks for watching.